Check, check. This is the Porn Stars Are People podcast. I'm here with Kimber Haven. My brain is slowly turning into mush through 3 days of the AVN. So I just want to make sure I got the name. Make sure I get all the names right. Here's what I find. I find that there are only 3 dozen names, first and last names in this business, and they just get recycled. So sometimes I make mistakes.
That is true. That is true.
So thank you for being here. We were just talking about where you live. Is this open information? Can I talk about it?
Of course.
You're in
I'm
Kentucky.
An open book. Yeah, I'm in Kentucky. I'm not technically a country girl because I actually grew up here in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I come back here once a year to attend this craziness.
Yeah. So where are you signing? What are you doing? What's your like itinerary this week?
I'm having a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Having a lot of sex. I'm signing at Clits for Sale. Tonight I'm hosting. I'm the hostess at a sex club, sex party. Been shooting with tons of people because AVNs is, everyone gets together.
Everybody's here, yeah.
Yeah, so we're all in the same place, so we crank out the content. And so I'm producing lots of content, starring in lots of content, signing at Clits for Sale, making appearances, playing star, like Bob Seger says. Here I am.
Yeah.
Playing star again.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So I mean, you said you grew up here. So when you come back, do you stay on the Strip or do you stay with people that that are locals and whatnot?
I stay here on the Strip. Actually, I'm right across the street at a place called Lexus Park. It's,
nice.
Got a nice suite there with a little jacuzzi. Good place to film. Good place to film some hardcore sex.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool fun. My first intro to the AVN was just sort of following people before the podcast on the Snap Stories. And there's fucking beautiful rooms out here that everybody's got their thing. They got their bath balls and they're doing the thing.
You gotta have a good setting to film raunchy stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So you were telling me that you have taken up, and the crossover on this podcast was in my mind, the idea that porn and comedy are related industry-wise.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's a hilarious profession.
And you said you're dabbling in comedy.
I do occasionally do stand-up. I've done it a few times. I really enjoy it. I also have a comedy radio show on the Demon Seed Network called the Totally Inappropriate Radio Show.
We share that network. I was just on live for 2 hours.
Have you ever heard my show?
I haven't heard the show yet.
Yeah, it's Totally Inappropriate Radio Show.
It's hard to keep track of everybody on there right now.
Yeah,
they're killing it.
Yeah, we're doing really good. We're one of their top 5 shows on the network.
Nice.
And it's basically a comedy platform. When we openly discuss, sorry, I'm losing my voice.
I'm with you.
Too much screaming. Oh yes. Give it to me. That stuff. But yeah, we openly discuss how absolutely ridiculous this profession is.
Yeah.
And how everyone it cracks me up. Everyone thinks it's serious, and everyone takes it seriously in this industry.
Wait, porn or comedy?
Well, porn.
Yeah.
I mean, like the AVNs, they treat it like it's prom.
Right.
They take this seriously, and it's a hysterical profession. It's ridiculous when you think about it.
Right.
I'm like a 6'2" tranny.
Yeah.
And I mean, the comedy writes itself just in general, but here at the AVNs, it's just the people are just wild here.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard, and this is the second time it's come back up. But somebody had told me initially when they were talking about the AVNs, it was funny to them because they don't take it too seriously. But there are people in this business who, when they're nominated, they get so overwhelmed about the experience that they when they lose, they're heartbroken.
Oh, I'm nominated for 2 awards this year.
What are the 2?
For transgender fan favorite and transgender cam fan favorite, but I got 11 nominations this last year. And once you've been in the business for a while, you don't get as excited anymore.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was nominated, but your first few nominations,
sure.
You think, I'm somebody now.
Yeah.
I mean,
it matters.
I'm famous for having sex now.
Well, having recognition is kind of the goal, especially in an industry like this where that sort of becomes part of the currency, right? Getting your followers up and all these things. This is sort of like one of the metrics that you get.
Well, yeah, but if you make quality content, you'll get the followers.
Sure.
I mean, nowadays, most very successful porn stars dabble in owning their own content, selling their own glitz stores. So it's not so much about the glitz and glamour; it's about fetish content.
Yeah.
That's the big sellers. Guys are so droned out on the vanilla porn. Yeah. That we all grew up with, that they want to see something really freaky and different, because guys build up their immune systems to regular porn. Yeah. So the freakier, more fetishy, the bigger the hit. Yeah, for sure. Well, and there's something about, like seeing something that you haven't seen before, seeing something new, and or if you have this sort of curiosity, it's like porn has the ability and the wherewithal to go down that road. Yeah, I mean, throw in a tranny, a couple circus midgets, a donkey, and you got a bestseller there. Yeah, well, these wouldn't be the three that I would. These wouldn't be my go-tos. But yes, I get. Give us some time. Once you get a little bit older and you're just jaded. I do have this bit. I have this bit about how it's just odd to me that I know that my tastes have changed and being in relationships with people that like certain things and maybe more violent things, and it's just interesting because it was like, I was commenting about the idea that my grandfather is still having sex. It was like, what kind of shit is he into? If my tastes are changing and getting fiercer, exactly. Like where am I going to be at like 50? Am I going? Oh, you're going to be a freak. Am I going to have to like be hung from the ceiling? Yeah, you're going to be hooks in my back. Look at David Carradine. I mean, come on. The older you get, the freakier you get. Yeah, that's totally poignant. I mean, you start off with the BJ porn. You look at dirty magazines when you're a kid. No, I used to. There was a girl in my 7th grade class who I was attracted to her armpit. I was like, that's all I had to see, like a little bit of armpit, like a little side boob. That was like enough for me. And when then I do cam, everybody's wanting to see my armpit. Yeah, sure. I had never heard of it before I did cam. And feet are huge. Yeah. It becomes a thing. Well, it's all about the forbidden, right? So once you've tasted the potion, then you just want to taste the next one. Yeah, I mean, you start out and you get excited about the simplest things in porn, but then it wears off, and you need something a little more intense to make it exciting again. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So what do you do, and outside of this thing to maintain sanity? You said you bought basically a piece of property with like a mountain on it. Yeah, I did. I moved to the country out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. When I retired, because I had a very different career. Yeah. I was actually a bodyguard and a heavyweight cage fighter. No shit. Yeah. And I used to be this enormous, I looked just like Brock Lesnar. Yeah. And before I transitioned. And then once I retired, I became my true self, and it was time. Then I got bored sitting around the house doing nothing. So I started camming just as a lark, and I did kind of like a adult variety show. You weren't in the adult industry before that point at all. No. Okay, interesting. I didn't even transition until I was much later in life, and I retired at 40. Wow. And I was just bored at home. I did a cam show with a bunch of jokes and celebrity impressions. Yeah. People loved it, and then I got discovered by a porn star named Wendy Williams. Wow. And she asked me if I wanted to do adult entertainment, and I said sure, and then it just kept rolling from there, and I kept getting nominations and recognized for the really freaky stuff I did. So. Yeah. And now I'm a porn star, and I was just retired and bored at home. Wow, very cool. Well, so how many years have you been in the industry now? About 4 years now. Okay, very cool. And so this is your 4th AVN, or? It's my 3rd AVN. Okay. When you're first starting out, you're getting your legs, and you're building a name for yourself, doing social media, trying to build up your brand. Right. And then once you start getting nominated and recognized, then it kind of balloons from there. And then you attend all these big events and meet all your fans. Yeah. And that's surreal the first time it happens, when you realize you have fans. Yeah. And they're traveling from everywhere around the globe to hear AVN to meet you. So what's the furthest somebody came that you heard about so far? I had a guy earlier today from the Philippines. Very cool. Yeah, he came up to me and said he loved my work. And I was like, wow, thank you. It's very surreal, because here I'm a celebrity. I get followed around, and at home I go to Walmart. Right. It's a completely different, being a porn star is great because most people don't see you as a celebrity, only your hardcore fan base. Yeah. So you have the joy of playing a star when you want to. Yeah. but just living a regular life when you don't feel like being recognized.
Yeah, I found this out as a thing. Is like the first thing that I noticed when I started coming to these conventions. So I the first one I went to was Exotic, actually, and I found that whoever I think is, I don't know, a big star or like so endeared to the industry, I might be wrong. Just because I like worship this person by watching their videos doesn't mean that they have the esteem in the industry. Or maybe a person who I didn't think maybe was a big part of the industry, then I come to an event and that's the person that everybody's sort of following around, and then their head is turning, and that's the one that like even the other people in the industry are watching. So it's something so interesting about that.
Because that person is only a superstar to that fan base that likes their particular style of content.
But even I'm saying within the industry, the other stars, the way that you guys look at each other, it lets me know a little bit of the esteem throughout the
hierarchy.
Industry. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because as a fan, we think whoever we love is obviously is the LeBron of the industry, and then you come and you see, and it's just a little different.
And there's cliques. I mean, porn is very much like high school.
Yeah.
There's every niche market.
And like comedy is what I'm saying. There's little groups that stay together and try to.
And you have different styles of comedy, and you have people that run together. In porn circles, it's very similar. Like transgender porn is a niche offshoot of the normal porn. So, like for example, I don't know hardly anybody in the other porn that is not in my particular niche, because my entire industry, my studios I work with, the entire porn industry that I'm involved in is from that niche market.
It's predicated on that one scene.
Yeah, I'm sure BBW girl is her entire industry, the studios that shoot those girls. So those are your cliques. So you're kind of in a subgenre of industry. So you don't even know people from across the pond. It's weird.
Right. Yeah. That is interesting. That's an interesting thing.
Because you don't work with anybody from that industry. You don't really see them. You don't work with any of those studios.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Do you find that your niche is even smaller than the other subsets? Like, is it? So I know as a comedian that there's a handful of people in the industry, but is your handful even? Are you talking 30 to 50 people that are? Shemale
porn is enormous in the industry.
Yeah.
And of course, there's been a boom in interest since the Caitlyn Jenner stuff.
Sure.
The girl from Orange Is the New Black. But we're the second most popular Google search when it comes to porn.
What's
first?
The first?
Is teen.
Interesting.
And
I didn't know that.
Transsexual or shemale is number 2 is in popularity.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a lot of guys that are attracted to that, but there's a lot of curiosity factor.
Yeah, this speaks to the taboo notion, and this speaks to the thing that I think porn addresses that other things can't, which is the idea that you can explore safely. You can explore from home and figure out these parts of you without having to. And this is what I fear is the dangers is maybe if you're exploring on the internet, then you never actually explore in real life.
Yeah, porn. I've had this talk with quite a few people. In fact, we've had some therapists on our show.
Sure.
Porn has actually been proven to seriously decrease violent sexual crimes on women, because men are acting. They're experiencing these fantasies. They're getting released in their own home.
Right.
And they don't feel the need to go out and act on these perverse desires.
Right.
And there's a lot of guys that like forced porn.
Yeah.
And they watch it all the time, but they would never go out and actually do it.
Right.
But it's been proven that repressing those urges and those desires
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how far you shove it down. It's still gonna bubble back up.
It's a bottleneck situation where porn gives an outlet and causes a serious impact on the social environment.
Yeah.
Repressing is horrible to any civilization or society.
Right. Well, and this is and sexuality is the thing that's been the most repressed historically across the board. So it is an interesting time, especially for you to be in this subset and the climate of the trans discussion now is sort of on everyone's dinner table.
Well, of course, we're not the cool kids anymore. Now the cool kids are the sexual harassers.
Right, right.
We had our spotlight.
Right.
There was, the media goes through its phases.
Right.
There was the gay rights, and then we went to the Black Lives Matter, and then it was all about transgender, and now it's all about sexual harassment.
Right.
So our time is past now, and now the media is all on Kevin Spacey.
You're right. I think what's funny, actually, and this might be more tragic than funny, is that porn finds a way to be timely. Always. Like I just caught somebody in the lobby, and they were telling me they just shot a Harvey Weinstein scene. So it's
I actually have a porn I want to produce.
Yeah. Throw it at us.
Yeah, I want to get a Trump lookalike.
Yes. And this was the other thing that they said that they did. So I'm going to hook you up with the other Trump.
Military garb. So I'm going to be a training in the military because he says we can't serve him.
Yeah.
And when I give it to him, I want him to go, "It's huge. It's huge."
That's great. That's great.
Best ever.
That's hilarious. I think that's brilliant. And I'm just trying to think if I can link you up with the other Trump. But yeah, these are the
porn parody is huge.
Yeah, it's I didn't realize how big of an industry it was, but there are people who have built their entire career on the parody thing. Like
I
the
just
Weird
did
Al
a film
of porn.
called The T Team, which is the A Team.
Yes.
With trannies.
Yes, and I just spoke to Ryan Driller, who plays Superman in.
Ryan Driller, he's a sweetie.
Yeah,
I love Ryan Driller. He's
all the
so
parody
hot,
stuff.
Too bad he doesn't like girls like
and
me.
then
But he's so hot.
and then Savannah Stiles told me that she would played Black Widow. So yeah, this parody thing is humongous.
Oh yeah, the bigger Marvel Studios gets, the more it's going to be spoofed by porn.
Yeah.
Porn always spoofs popular culture.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have our finger
just like
on
comedy. Yeah. This is interesting. So there's only been a couple of these that people have tried, but it hasn't been too successful. But blending comedy and porn, what do you think?
I do it constantly.
Okay.
Because I do enjoy stand up, and I have a comedy radio show. Whenever I film a porn, there always has to be plenty of laughs, and I always have to write jokes.
Yeah.
And because I want people to laugh and get hard at the same time.
Yeah.
That I love to make people laugh. I love to make people hard. If I can combine the two, it's
Those
perfect.
are the two best things. The two best things: making people laugh and making people come.
Oh yeah, I even did I signed a deal with company called Sexpose.
Yeah.
And I've been producing a series. It's kind of like a little sitcom based on my life as a porn producer called Bad Girl Mafia. And it's like a really raunchy adult sitcom about how ridiculous the porn industry is.
Yeah.
And the weird, insane stuff we do in this industry that we consider normal.
Interesting. Wait, plug it one more time so we can find. How do we know how to find it?
It's called Bad Girl Mafia, and it's going to be premiering on a site called Sexpose TV. And he wanted us to do a comedy series, a sitcom type comedy series about porn life.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, about what we go through and what our daily lives are like and how ridiculous they are.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: we're at the Hard Rock. I mean, I know because now I'm on the cusp of this industry that this thing was going on. Have you found that there are people running around this hotel that had no idea that they were staying here during AVN?
I think AVN is big enough now that pretty well everyone knows what they're getting into. And this place, have you been hanging around the Hard Rock at night when the parties happen?
No.
Oh, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. When all the porn stars are done with the expo, they all head out to the Hard Rock to get drunk.
Yeah.
Then you got a whole casino full of half-naked, drunken porn stars running around getting wild.
Yeah.
And I can't believe the Hard Rock tolerates that.
Yeah. I heard that you guys got kicked out of other hotels in the past.
Oh, I get kicked out of the AVNs at least once every time I attend.
Hilarious.
I do. I get in trouble, usually for nudity.
But come to think of it, I haven't seen a pile of children yet. So I think they've done a good job of letting people know what this is, and that maybe you shouldn't have your kids here this weekend.
Yeah, you definitely should not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Although I'm for it. I part of me thinks that censorship is silly and that children should have an understanding of sexuality early on as well.
Well, it depends on how early. I was very open with my own son because I have a son. He's 22. He's a Marine.
Oh, wow.
And he just had a child, so I'm a granny training.
So how old was he when you were transitioning?
He was probably about 19. Well, actually more like 17. Yeah.
And did you put him in the conversation while this was happening, or I mean, you were in your own exploration at the time?
Yeah, I came out to him. He was the last person that I told.
Yeah.
And when I came out to him, he was very accepting of it, and he even named his son after me, Haven.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, his son's named after me. He's been very, very supportive. But we taught him fairly young to be not only open-minded sexually, and it was openly discussed, not in a vulgar or inappropriate way.
And now, were you with his mother while this was happening?
His mother got hit by a truck.
Oh,
when he was
Jesus!
a kid.
Wow.
Karma.
Wow. Oh, shit. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a sad story.
Oh, it's
and then
she got hit by a truck. Happy ending.
You weren't? Were you driving the truck? I just want to make sure that we're clear.
I was not. However, I am still seeking the man who did, where I can pay him off. Yeah. She was my first wife.
No way.
She was a stripper. She was not the best person.
She got hit by a truck, not in a vehicle, just walking around?
She was crossing the street.
Wow.
Someone ran her down. It was a hit and run. I'm assuming it was one of her many jilted lovers.
Do you think it was deliberate?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
She was one of those people you meet that you're like, wow, this person has few redeeming qualities and is completely unlikable.
Yeah, and then, of course, you have to fuck them.
Yeah, that part was good.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It always is with those people.
The
person who's going to get run over by a truck is such a fun person to fuck.
If you marry a stripper, the fucking's the only good part about the whole marriage.
Yeah.
The rest of it sucks. I mean, it's a bad decision all the way around, except for the fucking.
Right. Yeah, I have a buddy who's one of his lines in his joke. He said I dated a stripper, which is the worst thing you can do with one.
Yeah. As long as you have fun with them, they're a good time.
Yeah.
But you don't want them to bring their personal baggage, because it's true. There are no strippers without some personal baggage.
Yeah.
They're all messed up. I should know, because I'm a stripper.
Yeah.
Totally
so you're speaking from full-on experience.
Oh yeah, I'm totally messed up.
So that's cool. So where do you go after this? So you leave here, do you go straight back to Kentucky?
I do. Well, I mean, directly after here, like this.
Not this exact moment, but this
I go
weekend.
to a sex party tonight.
Yeah, sure.
After that, I fly back to Kentucky, and then I spend the next 2 weeks editing all the content I shot.
Yeah.
And I've been shooting so much porn, my butt hurts.
Yeah. It's a hazard of the job.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of choice.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a vagina and get, a break. But no, it's only in the ass. That's all I got. Well, nobody wants that. I'd give that to him, but no.
It is funny. That's a true comedic personality. Is the we had a little bit of an audience, and it became a little bit of a show.
When I fly back, I'm gonna have to buy another bag just to check my ass on the way back, because it'll be hanging out. And
it is the
carry on.
I did find out that the carry on rules these days are very minimal.
It's going to be carry on what's left of my ass.
I had to pay more just to be able to be put in the normal carry on category, the take your bag and take a personal item.
You didn't fly United, did you?
I flew.
They'll kick your ass.
JetBlue here, and then I'm flying American back, and I had to pay extra money just to be able to be a normal flight person.
A normal flight person.
That's crazy. So what else? So you got you got the parody stuff that you wanna work on. What stuff are you working on moving forward that maybe is new and fun for you?
Well, I'm just finishing up the T Team, which was the parody off the A Team.
Yeah. And
I'm doing my comedy series, Bad Girl Mafia, where I'm producing short episodes that spoof this entire ridiculous industry. But the majority of what I do, I stay busy. I usually work 10 to 12 hours a day. I get about 2 days off a month.
Nice.
I'm either on cam doing cam modeling, which is very lucrative.
Yeah.
Or I'm shooting porn, producing porn because I own my own porn production company. Or I'm stripping, or I'm doing my radio show.
Yeah, doing all the things.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What So how do they find you? What's your cam? What's your best way to get you on cam?
The best way to get me on cam is to just type in tskimber.com and go straight to my camera. Or if they want to see the really raunchy stuff, go to kimberhaven.com. That's my porn site. That has all my really raunchy stuff.
Okay, kimberhaven.com. And then what's all your social stuff? Plug Instagram, plug...
well, I don't really do Instagram. I know I should, but I'm bogged down with so much social media.
But
I do Twitter
the amount of people that are getting banned and blocked on Instagram, it's not worth the headache. So your Twitter...
yeah, I'm always on Twitter. I'm Kimberhaven on Twitter.
Kimberhaven on Twitter.
And then every Saturday, you can listen to the Totally Inappropriate radio show on Demon Seed Network.
Demon Seed Radio Network.
We're one of their top shows now.
Shout out those guys. Love those guys. Bobby Genital. Those guys found my podcast, hit me up and said
Bobby's
and said we'd love to have you on this thing. We don't know what your commitments are. We don't know what you got going on, but if we can rebroadcast, we'd love it. So
yeah, he gives you a lot of personal freedom. Sometimes I get in trouble with him. Yeah, he says I went too far. But
yeah, they've given me a nice home and it's fun to be part of the family and it allowed me some other opportunities here at the AVN. So I was excited. Were you able to do a live show while you were here? Or?
We're doing our live show tomorrow from noon to 2 p.m. We're doing it live from the, I think it's Model OC.
The Model Centro booth.
I think they're all
down there. Yeah.
So he asked us to do our live show on Saturday. So
very cool. So
we're doing it tomorrow.
But when this is broadcast, then that live show had already happened. So you can check out that show on the Demon Seed Radio Network. The rebroadcast moving forward.
We're on 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Very cool. Well, listen, it was great talking to you. Please follow.
Yeah, totally
join.
Follow.
Pay for the content. Do all the things. The Porn Stars Are People podcast. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play. We got some content today from YouTube. Wherever you found us, we're on the other thing. Trying to give you good content whenever we can. Thank you to my guest, Kimber Haven. Check out the site. Do all the things.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right.